What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. Now, I've been wanting to get back into indie comics for a while, and I got a few of them lined up, but today I want to talk about Rise. We're going to be going over the issue number 1 from Pocket Watch Press. And right now, Pocket Watch Press has a handful of comics that are under their belt, such as Area 51, the Helix Project, and then the anthology series Minutes to Midnight. All of this created and founded by Trevor Fernandes-Lenkiewicz. In Rise issue number 1, we follow the superpowered individual John. But in a unique manner, John's powers are really activated by spikes in dopamine, a hero that needs to feel good to do good. And so Trevor, he goes on to challenge, what does it mean to actually be a good man? How do you reconcile the wearing ideologies of what we ought to be through the noise of social pressure? And if you end up liking this comic, his issue number 2 of Rise is currently in Kickstarter. In fact, it's in the last 24 hours. I have a link down in the description. You can head over to Kickstarter by clicking that link, and then you can get issues number 1 and 2. You can get a digital version, you can get physical, whatever you fancy. He's got tons of options. Go ahead, check it out. This is definitely an indie comic creator that you need to at least be following. He's created some amazing stuff so far, and based off of what we read in Rise, this is off to a great start. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we pick up with this issue number 1, we pick up with John, appearing to look in his early 20s. We find him walking into a bar and he introduces himself to a girl at the bar. But what we also see is him take the guy sitting next to her and dash him out of here in the blink of an eye. Cutting us over to in the bathroom stall, we see that these two are quite familiar with one another. This is his girlfriend Issa, and while they're in the middle of doing what they're doing, John tells her he's gotta go. Dashing out of here and taking to the sky, we see him in full uniform. As he jumps, we see that he's not able to necessarily fly, at least not with the dopamine that he currently has. It is possible with higher spikes of dopamine, he might be able to do bigger feats. But what we do see is that he is able to hear everything. Listening in, he can hear why he had to run so quickly. A man is bullying his girlfriend, holding a knife up to her. It appears that he's about to do something very bad. This is where we see John hollering from quite a distance away, but the man is able to hear him as if John is talking right next to him. John attempts to calm the man down, to get him to relax, but as the man begins to panic, he goes to take that knife to plunge it into his girlfriend, but before that knife can meet its target, it hits John, the knife bending and falling to the ground. Today, the girl's life was saved, and we pick up later that evening. John sitting down with his girlfriend, having a conversation, talking about the events that transpired today, just saying that this is really a deep connection for John. But more than that, there's an underlying fear that John has, wondering that if he was ever in the position of the man he stood against today, what would he do, especially with his power set? Would he try to fight back knowing that he could? Knowing that he would win, how easily he could become corrupted. But as we pick up the next morning, we have John that is sitting here making some eggs. With his girlfriend waking up, it seems all fine and great at first. But when John gets an alert on his phone that there is a fire, he goes to ignore it, saying that the firefighters, the fire department, they can all handle that. That's what they get paid for. But Issa becomes kind of appalled by his reaction to this. That he could be there and back in 20 minutes, save a bunch of lives. That what kind of person are you if you can't use your power for something good? Willingly not helping people. And this argument causes his dopamine to drop drastically, telling him to get out and go save those people. We pick up with John at the fire, his dopamine levels at an all-time low, running on pretty much reserves at this point. But knowing that there is somebody inside, he rushes in. He breaks down the door, but in doing so, we see that he is able to bleed. With him running on reserves, he becomes more vulnerable, but he picks up this girl and he goes to get her out of here. As they make their way out, the ground underneath him falls apart, and now he's holding slabs of floor up, trying to prevent them from falling down, protecting the girl in the process, but not sure if he is able to hold this much longer. And John thinks to himself that this might be the place that he dies. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So first off, hats off to Ryan Best. Absolutely phenomenal artwork in this comic. If you guys hadn't heard the conversation that we had, I interviewed both Ryan Best and Trevor about this comic. We had a great conversation, talked about, how much cape porn there is in this pretty much. Absolutely loving and having fun with the cape work in this comic, creating the costume of John's. And this is really, like I said, it's off to a great start. I do gotta say that if you guys have the money, go get the issue number 1 in the physical copy. Get issue number 2 along with it. Now, I haven't read issue number 2 yet, but I do have issue number 1. And there is not only amazing artwork, but you got some amazing fold-out pages of artwork. Just absolutely ridiculous. It looks so good. The texture of the paper feels amazing. It's glossy. It's fantastic. It is well worth the money to go and support this comic. If you like this in the slightest bit, go support issue number 2 in the Kickstarter right now. The link is in the description. This is something new. It's something original. A superhero that needs dopamine to be super. What lengths will he go to ensure he can stay powered, to stay alive? A man who now questions morality, questions how far he might be willing to go with the immense amount of power that he does have, trying to struggle finding that balance. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on all of Trevor's work, we have covered a handful of his comics, including all of Area 51, the Helix Project. I highly recommend that you support his work. Check it all out. At the very least, follow him on social media. I'll leave all the links down in the description so you can get completely caught up on who this amazing person is and his amazing company, Pocket Watch Press. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.